Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Humphreys. I'm a board-certified otolaryngologist, head and neck surgeon, and facial cosmetic surgeon. I'd like to talk to you today about facial resurfacing using the laser. The laser is only a tool. I'd like to review some of the findings and some of the reasons why we use lasers instead of other more aggressive technology. Facelifts are not for everybody, especially if you're a little bit younger and just need some very minor problems corrected. I'll be showing you some slides and some photographs to review some of the smaller cosmetic deformities that are well addressed by the laser and the reason that we can avoid larger, more aggressive, more invasive surgeries. Healing with light is an amazing technology, and the laser has given us this technology. The generation of lasers that we use today are quite extensive. The technology is amazing. Some pearls of wisdom. First pearl is that the laser is only a tool. Your surgeon is still the person that you should trust. The other thing I tell everyone is that I, personally, am not as good as the original manufacturer. I know some of my colleagues think they are, but I tend to doubt that. So one's expectations must be realistic. There are certain risks and complications that everyone should be aware of. The tools in the armamentarium of the new cosmetic surgeon can be quite extensive. We use the Aura and the Venus lasers. This provides us a new technique we call facial rejuvenation, making the face young again. The assault of the ears can be considerable. We see drooping in all areas of the body, and the face is most sensitive to that. Ptosis, or drooping of the brow, is one of the first things we get. Hooding with folds of skin dropping into the eye is a second thing. Crow's feet, laugh lines, and herniation of the fatty tissues around the eye give away one's years. The eye, they say, is the mirror to the soul, and if it looks old and tired, then you look old and tired. Other deformities include creping and very fine wrinkling around the skin. The large pores tend to conglomerate and form an orange peel effect. All of these detract from the youthful appearance of the face. All of these can be addressed with the use of the laser. In this example, this lady, who is about 65, has beautiful porcelain skin, but the years have given her the appearance of some creping, some drooping, some wrinkles around the eyes. The marionette line just to the side of the mouth, which is this large fold that also sort of gives away the years, all can be addressed by a laser resurfacing. The result is not perfect, and she does not look 25, but it is a considerable improvement, and the overall effect is a very youthful rejuvenation of her face. In this example, the lady has tired eyes. She has laugh lines, hooding of the upper eyelid, folding down into the eyelid area. She has creping. She has orange peeling. She has vertical lines between the eyebrows. Her eyes, although once youthful and pretty, are now beginning to look tired and older. After lasering, the overall effect is a pretty large one. In this lady, who is a tennis player, not only the years have begun to assault her, but the sun as well. The sunspots visible on her cheeks are quite apparent. They are not youthful in their look. They are not healthy in their look. The sunspots can easily be removed with the laser, and some depigmentation has occurred. Also a smoothing effect. The overall effect is a more youthful, more healthy appearance. In this example, once again, the eyes are beginning to herniate. Some of the fatty tissue that exists there, the skin has become thickened and wrinkled. Hooding has occurred, drooping of the eyebrows. Sometimes more is necessary than a simple lasering. These eyes are very tired looking and feel old. One's own vitality can be affected, and one's own well-being can become harmed. Fortunately, with aggressive lasering and even minor surgery tucks around the eyes, a dramatic effect is achieved. The healing time can be variable. This is a result at 1 month, but most healing occurs before 2 weeks. 10 days is average. In this example, there's not only significant sun damage, wrinkling damage, but a heavy pitting of the skin from teenage acne, which has scarred the face forever. Again, these results cannot be made perfect, but can be improved. The lower face and the upper face, when combined from the before and after, give the overall impression of an improved facial appearance. Her eyes look younger, her mouth looks younger, and she feels younger. Not everybody wants a full face treatment of the laser. In this example, the tired eyes from before, with the creping, the hooding, are addressed alone. She only wanted those effects around the eyes treated, and so the eyes themselves have produced a more youthful appearance. Here's the same example from a different angle, before and after. The healing phase can produce some redness and some swelling. Here at 7 days, we still see the redness. The skin should be jealously protected from the sun and from other offending agents. Moisturizers need to be used daily. I call the healing phase the ugly duckling phase. Everyone should expect a short, ugly duckling phase. But when the results are achieved, from the before to the after, it can be dramatic. Again, she has only had her eyes addressed. In this example, there are quite a few other things that are sagging, and a more youthful appearance sometimes takes a combination of not only laser, but standard surgical techniques. The eyes look tired, the midface and cheeks droop, the wrinkles are very deep, the folds are prominent, and the waddling below the chin is very obvious. All of these combine to give a more aged appearance. When these are addressed with a combination of surgical and laser technology, again, the result is even more dramatic. This lady happened to marry a gentleman 10 years younger than her. One of the things that she did not like was when she applied her mascara, that the creping and wrinkling around the eyes drew the mascara down into the wrinkles, thereby accentuating the wrinkles. And she did not wear makeup well. That disappeared after the treatment. In this example, we see a blow-up of a lady who has considerable difficulty with creping, wrinkling, hooding, laugh lines, crow's feet, orange peeling, all the things I've been talking about. The fine wrinkling all gangs up on her, and even though that she doesn't require a facelift, the overall appearance is that she is older than she wants to be. With lasering around the eyes, a more youthful Betty Davis look can be restored. Some redness may persist for a period of time. In her example, at about 6 weeks, she still has a slight amount of redness, slight amount of swelling. This is an extreme case. The normal swelling and redness is gone in less than 2 weeks. The newer generations of lasers have a far shorter healing period. Sometimes I have to recognize what the laser can do and what it cannot do. The laser cannot fix everything. It is only a tool. It only has certain limitations. In this example, this person wanted the waddling under the chin fixed by the laser. It normally would take liposuction or a lower facelift to fix this. The laser will not correct it. Nonetheless, upon learning of the benefits of the laser, this patient decided to proceed and have her facial lasering done, even though it wouldn't help the waddling under her chin. And her result was a much more youthful appearance of the skin of the face. And again, you can't help but feel better when you have that kind of result. I'd point out on the after result that you still see the waddling. As I told her, it would not benefit from the laser. A realistic expectation is necessary. In this example, the hooding around the eyes, the wrinkling and creping were all addressed, and her eyes looked much more youthful, much more rested, and just from the eyes alone, her appearance has improved. The wrinkling and creping can be immediately addressed, and within 11 days, she's been restored to this appearance. She even wears her hair in a younger bang look. Another tennis player with sun damage. You can see the wrinkling, the sunspots, the creping. In the postoperative phase, you can see that the wrinkles are better, the sunspots are better, the vertical lines, fine lines, even the sagging of the skin around the chin are all better. I can't make her look 25, but I can significantly improve her appearance and her youthful feel about herself. In this example, it's quite an interesting story. This lady's husband was an offshore oil worker and was home 1 month every 6 months. So he'd basically be home only 2 months a year. And she wanted to be special in her appearance when he would return. She was very much in love with the man. And when I finally met him, I really didn't see it, but when someone's in love, that says everything. She wanted to look and be special for him. And as you can see on the original picture, she was not quite that. This is a close-up of her eyes before the lasering. Once she underwent the laser resurfacing, not only her skin quality improved, but the smoothness. And again, this is before and after around her eyes alone. She had lasering of the entire face, and her results also were dramatic. I think that before, where she may not have been much to look at, I think she achieved her goal of making her husband pleased when he came home to see her. The laser is not for everybody. There still is a healing phase. There still is an ugly duckling phase. Results are variable. However, they are generally very well tolerated and can be dramatic, as you see in these examples. In summary, facelift is not for everyone. The most dramatic results are sometimes achieved through facelifting, but it is considered a major surgery, and it is very costly, not covered by most insurance plans. Therefore, some of these smaller techniques to address some of the smaller deformities that happened during the assault of the years are quite necessary. They're quite effective, and they're easily done without a prolonged healing phase.